to do a quick video on a lateral lunge because I see this come up a lot in videos that are sent to me. And what's really important in a lateral lunge, or just in general, is that we're able to get over a side, both at the thorax, which is this upper rib cage area, and at the pelvis. Sometimes I'll notice in a lateral lunge or a hinge that the rib cage is like over here, the pelvis is over here. So it kind of looks like this. Think of it like you're holding a baby with your left all the time, so everything here gets shifted, but the pelvis is to the right. See that a lot. So I'm going to go through a couple tips for a lateral lunge. You can set up near a wall as well, because it can be helpful to think about pushing away from the other side. So with a lateral lunge, let's say I'm setting up near a wall, I'll show both variations. I am pushing off my right. This is my right, okay? So it's like I'm getting that glute push off to the left, okay? And I am sitting back into my left hip. This is a hinge type movement. This glute, it's a squirt, is lengthening. That's about all I got. A lot of times people go down here. Look what happens though. I'm not getting that length through the glute anymore if I go down too low. I'm just folding through and moving through my upper back, okay? And so I want to really think about pushing over and getting this stretch. If you don't feel like a stretchy sensation through here, that's what we're going for. So if it feels like back, all these things going on, that's not what we want. Okay, so I'm pushing over to the side, and I want to make sure that I'm not here. I'm in a nice position. What often we'll see is if I see this rib flare, people will go, okay, exhale. And that is just pushing these ribs down and still taking on that more rectus dominant strategy. So we want to think about getting over a side, lengthening in this back pocket. Notice my knee is forward over my midfoot. And if you feel like you're like this, soft, gentle exhalation to get those ribs in a good position versus this. This is not stacking, that is just kind of crunching, so to speak. So just make it nice and long and soft. Ooh, my glue is on fire. So we're gonna think about pushing over the side, knee pulled towards center, nose, sternum, knee, big toe. We're all in line. So notice I'm over my left. If I feel like this is happening, like my rib cage is to the right, even though my body is to the left, then maybe I can exhale. Think about turning my rudder, my chest bone, straight. Maybe I even use a tool, like a foam roller, to kind of get me over that position. So maybe I hold it with my right, because that's gonna turn my sternum more straight, and I hold that as an isometric. Starting in an isometric can be very helpful. So I'm getting over the side, knee pulled towards midline, connecting with my foot, holding into my foam roller with my right hand so that I make sure that I'm over this side. Sometimes if I struggle, I can even roll to the inside of this right foot so it can push me over here, knee pulled towards midline. I'm gonna have to switch sides in a sec, but one thing that I often see is that we go over this left side, but this hip is hiking up. So I want you to think about unhiking that hip, staying long from rib cage to pelvis, so that you can kind of unhike that hip. You'll get a lot more glute when you do that. And over the side, right here, okay? I'm gonna switch to the other side because my left glute's on fire. So I'm shifting over my right. On the right, what I often see is a hip that is hiked and knee pulled towards midline like that. So what I want you to think about is you're over your right side, unhiking this right hip. So you'll notice when I unhike my right hip, it's like I'm hiking my left. Okay, that's that frontal plane control. When one hip hikes, the other goes down. When this one hikes, this one goes down. So they're opposing actions in that frontal plane, okay? Let me know if you have any questions on that. But I'm over here, remember I'm hinging and I'm lengthening into this butt cheek. That is the huge key here, length. I don't need to go too low. Other thing, knee bent, I'm not back here, I'm over my midfoot. Butt open, reach and breathe. So a couple key points for your lateral lunge. You want to make sure you are over the working side. You want to make sure you're actually feeling that stretch in the glute Remember, a lateral lunge is a bit hingy, so sometimes I even take my hands and put it in the hip crease and send the booty back. That's all I got. Feeling this nice open, burny stretch here. Knee is forward, weight is over my midfoot. Feeling that arch lengthen, knee pulled towards midline, hip unhiked, reach and breathe. Start with an isometric and then progress, but that is some feedback for your lateral lunge. If you're struggling with that, you're always welcome to send me videos, but that is a big thing I often see. Another thing, watch those knees. So this is not a lateral lunge. Knee pulled towards midline, sitting and hinging back. A lot of times this foot will be turned out, this knee will be like this. That's gonna bring about a cranky knee situation. So think about keeping that knee pulled towards midline. I think this is like what, like a Cossack squat or something. It's not what we're doing here. So keep that knee pulled towards center and you're gonna get a lot more glute control. Well, I don't want this. On this, you can put your hand here. Get some nice booty going. Let me know if you have any questions, drop them in the